Peace, peace, peace. We got YU 410A. Welcome to the live. Hi, Chief. You out there in the field? I got to see you right here. I got to see you right here in front of the school. Lord, you just we're laughing. I laughed so hard that I caught up right in front of the school. They sat down there. All right, divine truth. Listen, I got in out the field, So, I was checking a little. The news today is about the Jesse Smollett? Yeah, that was quite a situation there. Yeah. Oh man. So there's no way that Did anyone else get a chance to anybody get a chance to see what that was about? Of his apparently it's a lot to that. There's apparently a lot more to the case than meets the naked eye. It's another case kind of along the lines of the Rittenhouse. I'm not really all that interested because it was a hoax. But I do think it's important, just in terms of, a lot of what we're talking about is, justice for original people, you know what I'm saying? And, I don't think the word is made a mockery, but that definitely didn't help. You know what I'm saying? To have that type of hoax situation. You see what I mean? When, you got real situations like Ahmaud Arbery. We don't have to make it up. We don't have to tell no lies, right? Or try to master anyone's mindset to get this across. You know what I mean? So I do think that, he's just added that bullshit to the game where now it's like, well, if someone makes an allegation now, right? It's like, yeah, you got the Ahmaud Arbery situation where it turns out to be legitimate. You see what I mean? But now because of this, there's always a chance, right, that this is fake. If somebody says that. So that part I thought, and just the lie that he told, I challenge anyone. He claimed that these individuals put a noose around his neck. Let's be for real. You are not putting a noose around a black man's neck, and he didn't know. He just, in whatever state of shock he was in, he kept the noose on his neck. Again, you're not gonna find. So from the jump, I already knew the story was fake. You know what I'm saying? And all the history, right? The things he's saying, like they was walking around with, they had bleach, they threw bleach on them. Like, is that, would they have the bleach for? Like they was on their way to wash their Ku Klux Klan robes, and they just happened to come across you. Like, what was, is this customary? Is this a Chicago thing? People just walk around in the wintertime with bleach? But really the thing is, as I was paying attention to different people talking today about the topic, I could not understand
Just I don't want to get up. I don't want to discredit my fucking game. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll be doing. You know what I mean? Outside. See, I don't even what's so bad about it. I don't even run. Even when
I just saw some breaking news here.
I was past my youngest day. I'm doing things in the young state.
Yeah, see this too? Did y'all catch this one? Don Lemon is somehow mixed up in this thing. I could have told you about Don Lemon too. Y'all wanted to know, y'all could have just asked me.
So you know why I don't do that?
Yo, what the fuck is Mel Brooks still doing live?
I'm going to be, but guess what? I'm right here.
Just checking out the news real quick. Where's this one? Yeah, this is some real. See, this it's the news that made me come with this title. A lot of brothers, when they come to the rally, they practice their lessons. See, that's why the 5%, we come to your block, we, you know what I'm saying, we want to see you, we come to your class, because we know you prepared. We want to know if this is real or you were only acting. civilized environment, right? But when you happens when you go amongst the uncivilized and the savages? See, because you're going to be the worst out there amongst the uncivilized because you know who you are. See, a lot of times when we find ourselves falling victim, that's what we falling victim to. We falling victim to our own supreme mathematics that we not living out. See, one thing you got to admit about being the 5%, whenever shit gets fucked up, you know exactly where you fucked up. You always gonna find dance. I knew difficult. It's difficult that now if you know, let's say like me, right? I got the principle that I don't want to take the vaccine. Right? Now, can I remain civilized? You know, can I stick to that? Right? Or will the trials and tribulations break me down? And then I end up doing something against my way of life, how I've been living all this time. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like, see, we was dealing with this science. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, not only do they have the ham and the ham hocks, but even the chicken and the fish has been cooked in lard. Will you remain civilized then? See, that's the difference between having principles and acting like something. When you act like something, right, then somebody got to yell, lights, camera, action, and then you'll be that. See, regardless to whom or what means something different than unless. See, if you can remain civilized, then you have to change your degree to that. That your word is unless, and then you put what you want to put right there in that space. But in the midst of all these things, I'm saying this is just, you know, I'm using different examples. You know, but it's with everything, every cycle that you go in. See, we Lord of all worlds from highest to lowest. So, you know, you come here, you know, you got your books, everything, you done studied up, you on point. You didn't practice that because that wasn't on your script. You only do it when people say lights, camera, action. You understand what I'm saying? Do you know, we building on lessons, but then as soon as something happened out in the real world, now you talking all this spooky shit. So you're not remaining civilized. See, that's the first thing, is to become and remain. It's to, you got, what's the name?
I'm about to switch one up myself.
Yeah. We go back here.
I'm switching.
All right. You see what I'm saying? So in the midst of all these things, what's going on, right? You know, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. See, now this thing is coming real. It's just an event has occurred right now within the history, right? That we can look at. You know what I'm saying? See, this is a science right now where you're seeing, all right, was you prepared? See, did prepare not himself? Is that who you are? We're not saying that you're a servant. We're not saying that you listen, but I'm talking about applying the principle of being prepared, right? Or paying the price. You see what I'm saying? So is you prepared, right, for the colored man to say, look, we don't need you no more. I'm talking about prepared to still be able to survive. It's fit. You know what I'm saying? That's something that it showed me, the last 2 years. From the minute I walked in that supermarket, right, and there was one pack of chicken in the thing, see, I realized I wasn't prepared. You know what I'm saying? Listen. There's no water in that motherfucker. This is when, man. Nobody is saying, look, all right, this is something that occurred, when real life things happen, right? You get to measure your progress in real life. See, look, in the immortal words of Allen Iverson, we're not talking about practice. We're talking about the game. Let me see this here. I don't know what's going on. Listen, they trying to shut us down on hip hop too. I'm not understanding why. Now they got this. Who's this guy? Does anybody know who he is? 30 plus women accuse rapper of sex assault. I know I'm all over the place, but I just came in from outside. Plus rapper assault. As I don't recognize the guy. He got the prerequisite tattoos on his face. This I don't know what's going on. This I think it's something with this. I gotta. It must be an update for this thing right here tonight.
This kid here?
Yeah, this guy.
That is the dude that played in the new Mac.
Oh, it do say Superfly actor.
Superfly. He was in the new Superfly.
Actor, rapper,
Yeah, he rapped.
Kalen Walker now has over 30 sexual assault victims. Yeah, I didn't even.
One thing about it is the roles he played, just like
Fuck that, you'll kill him, you'll rape that bitch, you shoot that man.
all his roles.
Wait, said more than 30 women have stepped forward with claims Superfly actor and rapper Kalen K.R. Walker raped or sexually. I forgot to say trigger warning right there. Them in a string of alleged assaults dating back to at least 2013. Los Angeles prosecutors told the judge in a Los Angeles courtroom Monday the staggering number which Walker's camp disputes. Now, see this look, I'll be bugging out. Yeah. Not G building bugging out, but sometimes that's what I'm saying. Now it said the staggering number which Walker's camp disputes. It didn't say that he disputed that he raped anyone. Which that's not funny. But I'm saying, wait, so your problem is with the number of women that they say that you raped. You see, that's why sometimes, man, when things like that happen, I'll be thinking like, see, if I took the blue pill, that probably would have glossed right over me. You know what I'm saying? But I can't miss that. the staggering number which walkers can't dispute. What? The serial this string of cases stems from Walker's initial arrest in 2018. He lured aspiring models to photo shoots under the guise of helping their careers and attacked them. Yeah. You see, with that type of MO, this is minors. You know what I mean? Or just, barely, just turning 18. Yeah, I never even heard of this guy. I didn't see the movie, but I'm just saying, like, why we see now? Look, it's a Superfly actor, rapper. All right, what song he got? I'm just saying, why you gotta be a rapper? Why he can't be? Y'all can't hear me? Yeah, why I gotta be a rapper? You're not a rapper. I saw. Been a minute since we seen you in here. Welcome back, Jack King. Yeah, the mandate. Yeah, we touched on the mandate. You got any more deadbeat void? Welcome to the channel. Truth rules. Rome Fetty said, how civilized and divine beings be aware of your ways and actions. Think things through, do your own work before responding or reacting, taking consideration and responsibility with everything you're doing. Yeah. That's remaining civilized. See what I'm saying? Look, that's a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? With this particular cipher that we conduct right here, we've been, things been, we got a solid union. Yes, what I mean? But over the years saying that, when I was getting knowledge, I was getting, with thousands of brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? That became civilized with me, didn't remain civilized. And see, I see them out there. Sometimes y'all run into them and they tell y'all how they used to be this. You know what I mean? But see, the key thing you said there is with everything you're doing. See, we in a conversation particularly involving, the science of mathematics. That's what this is, civilization class, right? But do you apply it to the other things that you do? You know what I'm saying? Well, not saying the other things you do because this is all life, but I'm saying in all your endeavors. Like when you go to work, do you just go ahead and put the wisdom before the knowledge? Or the culture before the knowledge, or the build or destroy before the knowledge? Because all of that is gonna fuck you up. You said, can the colored man also refer to all the many flags of the world and all the many languages? No. Scientific is God. Tuning in from Master Now, Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota. Did you hear of the doctors and healthcare workers in Spain fully vaccinated got COVID? I mean, listen, you know, District 120, that's, you know, that's how you say, that's time immemorial that error has been being made, you know. But if you saw the same one I saw, there's no reason for me to feel bad because mostly everybody's name was misspelled on it, you know. But in terms of, you know, people, you know, being vaccinated, I mean, you gotta remember that that's just the science. That's even what they say is that at the end of the day, the vaccine is not supposed to stop you from getting it, right? It's supposed to stop you from dying from it, I guess. You know what I mean? It's supposed to lessen the impact. The kid who got vaccinated without the parents' permission, they offered him a pizza. Yeah, I saw that article that you sent me. That was crazy. But listen, there's a brother that I know. You know what I'm saying? Quizar Quaco LeBron. We got a lot of old timers in here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I saw a brother told me that he had to, and this is in New York, that he had to go up to the school, you know what I'm saying, and let them know that, listen, do not say anything to my child about that again. You know what I'm saying? He said his son even asked him, well, what if they give me pizza?
I can have a massive collision with that shit and would never go back to lay up. Yeah, man. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna make her look like I thought great man. Holly Berry.
Well, apparently that's, you know, what the thing is about right now. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, how can you vaccinate a child without the parents' permission? I have no idea. You know, it's, I mean, what is the precedence that they're using? I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Because the precedence that they're using, I found out, is not, the ruling doesn't say that the state can vaccinate you. The ruling says that it's up to the state. Rather, they pass a law to vaccinate you or not. You know what I'm saying? It was the states' rights argument, but it wasn't an actual license to be able to give people the vaccine. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is that this is particular, right? Because, you know, on the federal level, the mandates have been slowed down at least, right? But because this is coming from the city level, right? Then according to that ruling that they have from 1905, right? New York State is who has jurisdiction to decide whether it's legal or not. And at the moment, we have a governor who said that the vaccine comes from God. The Christian God, that is. So there's that. You know, that was something that I learned myself in the last couple of days. Yeah, state to state. That's what it is. It's a, you know, it's the precedence that's been set, right, is that it's states' rights. You know, now, of course, these cases can always go back just to say you had that precedence then. Because see, like for instance, right, close to around that time, it's 1890s, it's in the 1890s, I can't recall the exact year. But in that year, you get the Plessy versus Ferguson ruling, right? Which was challenged in the 50s with Brown versus Board of Education, you know what I'm saying? And under the new, kind of mindset that America has, like, okay, yeah, nah, that's we gotta get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? Many things have gone to Supreme Court, been challenged several times. You know what I mean? You just gotta have a different grounds on what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
He said because he lied and said he didn't have
Yeah, District 120. Now look, that's District 120 said I want them to pull that on me, and I'm taking the employment. I'm at to OSHA. I will get my 14K. They trying to overstep their boundaries. See, look, this is a situation like that. We'll pay careful attention, right? Because you get an opportunity to see how the government works. See, when things is going smooth, you don't really notice nothing. Everything is just, going day by day. You're not really thinking about it. But see, when some drama come up, now you're getting to see the actual, like we learn more about the procedures of how medicine comes to us, right? In the last 2 years than we probably knew our whole life. You know what I'm saying? The different, what is the actual science behind the trials? You know what I'm saying? What do they actually do in these trials? You understand what I'm saying? How long it takes, who has to do the approving and all these things. I didn't necessarily know. I knew the FDA and, even that, if you would have asked me to enumerate, okay, what's the authority of the FDA and what's the authority of the CDC, I wouldn't have known before this. You see what I'm saying? And just saying that when we know that these legal procedures is something that's always being used against us, right? Like all the brothers that's been locked up, they'll tell you that. That, they end up going in there and seeing how this thing worked and realizing that, yeah, the way y'all did this wasn't right at all. But because you didn't know, right, and you didn't deal with no objection, right, then your silence became agreement. Rome said, why are diseases and viruses having strands and an extended version for who is making these man-made? Well, it's that's a natural phenomenon for there to be genetic variation. You know what I mean? I think the question is a little too general. When you say, why are diseases and viruses, no. Why this particular one? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that. What is the normal rate, right, of what's the normal rate that variance would occur? You know what I'm saying? We would have to know that to really answer that question. You said, what happened with the officers and fire department not taking it in New York? They bitch. They bitch right up. We ain't in Kansas. Definitely, this ain't Kansas. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? See, and that's that's what I'm saying about remaining civilized. That's a common story of people who, they from the South or the Midwest and they grew up a certain kind of way, and then they get to the big city and lose all their culture and civilization. Oh, let me put this. and put this in here because we about to take a little 10-minute break. We got to do an intermission here. We got to do a little intermission here. Where's Robbie? I need to get in touch with you gotta get in touch with IB. You know, IB is our resident medical expert. We get in touch with IB, man, and see what all this new stuff is about. At what point with the knowledge did you say to yourself, this science saved my life in real time? I always kind of had a sense of that, meaning that, you know, I was on a track, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, I wasn't on a track for a very good ending. And see, I knew that, I realized that at the time, you know what I'm saying? And that was actually, you know, I consciously was thinking about that. Like, you know, it's not like I got a death wish or going to jail wish, you know what I mean? How do I avoid this? Like, I was actively thinking, you know, like it was certain things that I was doing that I knew, like, yeah, this ain't not gonna be able to do this 20, 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like the 5% was the way that I thought I was going to avoid that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that's why I became a 5%. But you know, once I got that degree of knowledge and I realized that, all right, yeah, this is a much wiser way to just move around. You know what I'm saying? So that I always had a sense of that you know, like I said, from the jump, when I seen the math, I realized that, yo, the other people out here in the street, right, that's doing what we doing, they don't got this. Like when we be talking, they don't never bring this stuff up. So, you know, I knew that I had something that was going to help me survive. You know what I'm saying? The first time I really noticed the contrast, I saw these brothers that I used to go to school with. Like they used to rest on my block. Like at that time, we used to all meet at the corner store. This is junior high school. You know what I'm saying? We used to all meet at this particular corner store. And then from there, we would all walk to school together. You know, this is back in the days when, you know, you need your team just to go to school. You know what I'm saying? So I ran into a couple of them, like 2 or 3 of them, one time on the train. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have had the knowledge. I would say I had about 1.5 years then. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was, you know, I had the knowledge. I knew what I was talking about when this occurred. But I was on the train and I seen, you know, brothers that I used to be with, like every day. And just when I saw how they was acting, I was like, damn, yo, did I used to be like that? Like, You know what I'm saying? That was the first time I noticed the contrast, like, you know, because I mean, these was like my people. I used to be with them every day. We used to go to school, come home. You know, we had, you know, we was the paper route crew, everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was the first time that I realized that, damn, you know, I came a long way. That was the first time, but you know, over the years, uh, it's been lots of things that occurred, you know, even if to not say necessarily it showed me that this knowledge saved my life, but it just showed me that, yo, this shit is not a game and shit. Like, this is, you know, to a certain degree, you know, you 14, 15, you come into the knowledge and it's like, well, you already know that your parents don't. You know, the fact that 85% of people don't have this knowledge, you know what I mean? It kind of makes it like a thing like, yeah, this is what you do, you know, with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? With, you know, catch your age. But then certain things happen, you know what I'm saying? And the truth get recognized in forms where you like, yo, son, this is for real. Like we you know, we not making this up. You know, I met this color man down on 23rd Street. You know what I'm saying? Had a conversation with him, and it was, yo, is it, you know, this is the first thing. Now look, see, this, you know, this. Look, I'm talking to him, right? And he says, I'm over 80 years old. I'm dead ass. Now, when he says that, right, in my mind, see, I just told you, in my mind, I'm thinking over 80 years old. So you saying you're already steady 35, 50. 35 to 50 is 85. So you already steady 35 to 50 years. That's what you're telling me. But then if the rest of the conversation is we ain't gonna go into, but I'm saying he was dropping science to the point where I'm still looking at him like, yo, does he know who I am? And he dropped certain science, right, about how the colored man's the devil, man. And don't deal with them. Like he was explaining about wars. And he was saying that, you know, people think that shit is about oil. That shit ain't about that. But this was the first Desert Storm. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, see, they didn't spend all that money. They didn't spend all that money on all the bombs and planes. They got to use them. He started telling me about how people is scared of money. Like I said, this nigga's he's an old timer. So he was like, yo, back, I don't know if he said in the Depression era, but he was like, back one time, a newspaper reporter wanted to do an experiment or whatever, and they was trying to see if people were scared of money. So the dude goes downstairs and he starts giving out $100 bills. And people ain't take the money. You know, and his lesson to me was don't be scared of money. Don't work for the colored man. Say, look, that's a scam. You ain't never getting that money. All that pension, all they doing is sitting back trying to find ways to beat you out of it. There was something going on. I think this was in the I don't think this was Rwanda. I think this was Darfur was going on. He said, yo, where's mine? The nigga said, see, that's the problem I got with Farrakhan. He said, Farrakhan, you don't got to talk about, you don't got to say all that stuff you're saying. You don't got to talk about, you know, white people. He said, yo, man, what you supposed to do is get some gangsters. He said, you're supposed to get some gangsters, go over there, bribe whoever you gotta bribe, and whoever don't want to take the money, take them out. Where's one? He did it like they said, take them out. And just save the damn black kids. He's talking, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. He's just going topic. Like I said, it was a long conversation. That was another time where it was like, yo, son, this 5% shit is for real. This is not a game that I'm playing with my friends. You know what I mean? You know, when I go in the house, right? This is what my family is saying. This is a game you're playing with your friends from now. It's a fad, a phase. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember your uncle he was all pro black guy. But I was going out and experiencing things where, you know, I saw, you know what I'm saying? Even, you know, the experience, we took about this vaccine stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? When, you know, my kids was first going to school, they called me down to the Board of Education. They called us down. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, yo, you know, why y'all not taking the vaccine? So, you know, we give them papers and shit, right? So they slide the papers right back across the table. Like, it was what's that? Like, we want to know why you don't want to take the vaccine. We don't want to see his papers. So at a certain point, you know, I got frustrated at the questions, like, yo, you know, so I kind of went in, like, yo, listen, I didn't call you down here to have no meeting. You called me down here to have a meeting. You know what I'm saying? I already am who I am. You could go check my file. It's the Board of Education. Go check my file. It says that I'm a 5%, and my coach is that it's some things I do and some things I don't do. You want to make some calls, call down to the hospital and ask them what was the procedures and protocols we made sure they went through when these kids was born. And all, you know what I'm saying? The lady said, hold on 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? She goes upstairs. She comes back. She gives us a paper, right? She says, you're never going to hear from us again. Never heard from them again. Since that time, like at that time, I would say there was two of my 5 was in there at that time. You know what I'm saying? The next time I heard anything about that was we went to the hospital, right? My oldest daughter, she needed to get some kind of physical, but she still was a minor. So I had to go to the hospital with her. And when I went there, right as we leaving the desk, the nurse says, oh yeah, and don't forget, you don't take vaccines. And when she first said it, was, you know, you think you gotta tell me that? But it was just another thing where it showed that, see, you know, first of all, having that history and then having the knowledge and wisdom to be able to express that. You know, so I mean, it's been a lot of things over the years, you know, but that episode where I saw, you know, the people that I used to maintain with, and it's like, yeah, it's like they was uncivilized, like not, you know, not like, you know, you can't come in my house uncivilized, but just like just the stuff they was talking about and everything was like, yeah, you know, and these brothers was actually a little bit older than me. You know what I'm saying? But you could just tell that, you know, that path that I took becoming a 5%, you know, I was becoming a grown man and they was becoming big men. Yeah, but things, things, continue to, I'll tell you another thing that happened. One time, I was with my grandmother, right? That was a funny one. That was a funny one. We was at one of her Masonic meetings. She used to go to these, what you call them, conventions, right? And this particular hotel, it had a balcony. And me and her was standing on the balcony, right? And one of the head Masonic dudes was talking to her, right? And at that time, nobody had flags. Like the universal flag, I think you could have got them at that time still. Melchizedek probably had them, but I ain't know him then. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, we had these leather patches made. You know what I'm saying, with the flags on. And I had mine on when I was standing on the balcony. And it was like, yo, they was talking, and then whatever happened, he happened to glance and see my flag. And yo, he just goes in, he started telling my grandmother, yo, don't let him be in there, yo, that's dangerous, yo, all this stuff, yo, that what he got on right there, that's dangerous, yo, he could lose his life. It's like, wait, but that was another day where it was like, yo, what would make him even say that? You know what I'm saying? Unless what I was dealing with was rising to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would somebody consider, we just talking about the universal flag. Why you consider this dangerous? Yeah. They feel what they don't understand, but you got to remember what it is too. And see, they can't do their thing, right, while we doing our thing. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? It's like if a person is selling you something, right? And then somebody tells all your customers where your connect is at. It don't work like that. Like if you got a secret that you keeping, that you holding above the people's head, and then you got Mr. XYZ over here that just come out blabbing out the truth. You just blabbing it all over the goddamn internet. Yeah, that's dangerous to your thinking. But see, like I said, that to me is, that's the part, like I said, I understand, masonry. I understand why people deal with, symbols and codes and everything, because see, a lot of times those symbols and those codes would travel further. You understand what I'm saying? Like, see, the language, I might don't speak that language. But the signs and the symbols, right? People can easily observe those. All right. Got Ryan Gibbons, S. Reeves. We got almost the whole old school in here today. He was told by a Masonic barber not to join the 5% in 2010. See, here's another thing about them different, our brothers from a little bit different disciplines, right? Is they're not as keen, right? The other barber was saying, I'm trying to get you in the nation. See, because they're keen on the rules, right? Because the rules is what keep them, you know what I mean? That's what keeps them on the square. You know what I mean? Like they got the compass, and the compass is supposed to make they 360, and then their actions are supposed to remain in that 360 to be righteous on the square. Right? That's the symbolism that they have. See, we don't have that. See, what we have is here, my man. This is a list of what's right and what's wrong. You already knew, nigga, but we're gonna write it down right here for you again. We're gonna deal with 120. We're gonna build with it. We're gonna get into the history, the science, the understanding, etc., etc. Now, you gotta do what you gotta do. No, we don't have prayer 5 times a day where you come back and we monitor you, right? And whatever negativity you was doing, you got to cut that out to come pray 5 times. So how far can you get in your negativity? See, what we have is no, you have to become and remain civilized. And you got to write your own book on how to do it. You got to predict your own history, write it, and then live it out. See, in other things, you could just follow their rules. Like in a Christian church, you can just pay your dues. You can just pay your dues. You don't even got to know shit about Christianity. Now, what that means, though, right, is that you're going to see some positive and negative. You're going to see some of those who failed to become civilized. And you're going to see some of those that failed to remain civilized. And so a lot of those other people, that's what they judge us on. They judge us on the people, right, who failed to become or remain civilized. And that's why they say, see, yeah, that 5% ain't no discipline in that. Is that about the angle they was coming from, S. Reeves? Don't really mess with them. They talk a good game, but they ain't got no discipline. But see, there's a lot to that. You know what I'm saying? See, first of all, people that become Muslim, right, and Masonic tend to do that at older ages. See, the 5% is children. See, people that become Masonic, right, just the whole way you become Masonic. Like you know somebody from the job or whatever, and they kind of recommending you to be a Mason based on the fact that you already a little bit upstanding. But see, that's not how you come a 5%. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta be where the 5% is at. You know what I'm saying? And look, y'all know the stories, man. You know what I'm saying? We from Harlem. We from Fort Greene. We from the South Bronx, Jamaica, Queens, Astoria, Queensbridge. These are the places where when you hearing, the knowledge first touching down in places, this is where the knowledge is first touching down at. And the conditions there is the conditions there. And people is reacting not always in the best way, but these are the people who are becoming 5%, not your friends from the job. That's the bottom line. See, Allah didn't pick from the honor roll. If we pick from the honor roll, see, first of all, half of us wouldn't have knowledge. Because how many of y'all motherfuckers on the honor roll? But on top of that, it would be a lot better outcomes. See, a lot of those people, man, or you had your establishment just covered up with the Christianity. You never really dealt with it. See, in this, you got to deal with your establishment. If you're doing something, right, that's causing you and the people around you harm, you the one that's got to change it. You can't just go to church and repent, say your Hail Mary, do confession. What's that other shit they got? Not confession. What's that shit they got? Testifying. You can't just go testify. See, like if you come around us and you say, "Yeah, God, I did some fucked up shit," we're not gonna say, "Well, yeah, God, just say no, we don't understand it, and it's all right." No, that's not that's not how we do. You see what I'm saying? So now that you're responsible for everything, right? And we know the condition we in, we dealing with growth. But a lot of these individuals, now, you know what I'm saying? You always gonna get that. You always gonna get that. See, once you learn to be like me, you know, or you can be yourself. But I'm just saying, see me, I embrace it. See, because just like I always tell you, man, the most important degree in 120 lessons for me is the knowledge degree in the 1 to 10. That's one of the reasons. See, because once you can find yourself, you know what I mean? Once you know where you is, then you can find everything else and what that is. The brother said, and I quote, "I wouldn't do that if I were." Well, yeah, you know, listen now. That's very common too, for you to be warned by people that love you not to become a opposite. You said, "Do we build on the lessons anymore?" Well, see now when we do that, right? Let's stick to English, right? Let's stick to English. You know what I'm saying? Now, in our supreme alphabet, W is not for we, right? Listen, I'm just explaining. Don't take this the wrong way. W is not for we. Now, in the supreme alphabet, we got I and we got you, right? I build on 120 lessons. How about you? See, I never let it go. You see what I mean? Because I know what the root is. You understand what I'm saying? You know, once you get to, some people get to a point where it's like, yeah, now you think you freestyle. You see, it's the fundamentals. See, there's most of the things that you see, right? And somebody, you know, like you look at people playing basketball and you see them flying all through the air and all of this stuff, but the best players are fundamentally sound. The fundamentals, the very basics, the footwork, you understand what I'm saying? The very basics. So see, the very basics. See, I know how I started out. See, a lot of people, you know, they don't even recall. So like I said, a lot of times we hear about back in the days, and yo, brothers building lessons, and this happened and that happened, and yo, the ciphers used to be like this and the high seed and all that. But see, the ciphers is where we started at. That's where the seed was planted. You see what I mean? And all the brothers that you see right now that have different degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you can respect. We started in those ciphers, man. That's where we learned the language. That's where we learned to use it. You understand what I mean? That's where we learn to speak publicly, to speak up. You understand what I mean? To know that knowledge means to know, not to think, not to feel. All these things, man, we started off learning that in the cipher, man. See, all that other knowledge that people be having, the shit is unorganized, man. And you don't know what it means. See, right now, you could go and ask a motherfucker about any given topic. You know what I'm saying? You could ask a person about the Crusades, right? When I was at 85, I knew about the Crusades, but I didn't know what it meant. See, every kid goes to school, right? Have all of us done this? We've sat in school and the teacher's teaching us stuff, and we like, yeah, but when the fuck we going to have to use this? Not for nothing, just who asked me that question about that? That was another time. That was another thing that happened in the lessons. Listen, when I got to Cipher, right? And it's, Cipher's 360 degrees, you go through all this geometry, right? And then it made me think about all those times I sat in school thinking, yo, when am I ever going to need to know that a circle is 360 degrees? That was another little epiphany in the knowledge. Yeah, but getting back to what I was saying, it's just that a lot of people, man, you get to a certain point and you well read and all these things, right? But you forget, right, what was the fundamentals. You know what I mean? It's look, you get to the point where you can speak multi-syllabically, you know what I'm saying? But if you forget the alphabet, not the supreme alphabet, just the alphabet, if you forget just the arithmetic numbers, how are you going to keep, right? How are you going to keep elevated? Like, that's the bottom line. We do all types of things to this day, right, that we learned when we was babies. We walk, we talk, we eat, etc., etc. And if we forget any of them things, if we lose that power, you are invalid. If you lose those powers that you have, that you built up when you was a baby, you're handicapped. So if I lose the 120 that I grew up from as a baby, right, that made me able to, not walk and talk physically, but make knowledge and wisdom walk and talk in my life, right, I'm going to be handicapped. At least that's how I'm going to look at it. Like, if I came on here, right, without a lifetime of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I've been living, right, I would be handicapped in what I'm going to say. There would be no way for me to do this for hours for, how long we be on here now? We come up on 2 years. And what we always do, we go to the degrees, right? And we build up off of there, right, into our surroundings, what we dealing with right now. Because those degrees might be dealing with events that happened thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, 60 years ago, etc., etc. But we bring it up to date, make it walk and talk right here. How are we going to do that, right, if I forgot my lessons? you know, yeah, in terms of, you know, the urgency with which you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, when you was first learning how to multiply, you had to go to class every day and write these tables out. You had to say it out loud. You had to practice it. So yeah, when you first come into the knowledge, yeah, you need to be dealing with that every day. So yeah, once you know, you had the knowledge for, you know, yes, it's the perspective that you're not learning anymore, right? So you don't, you know, you may not, you know, see, back in the times, listen, it was nothing to be in 10, 15 ciphers a day. Like 10 and 15 times where you gotta go through the degrees. The brothers that don't got as much knowledge as you, the brothers got the same knowledge as you, brothers got more knowledge than you. You know, to me, you know, the new people is deprived of that. It's that, see, I got to grow and develop in an atmosphere, in an environment, right? Organized, man, where, listen, you know, you if you don't show up here, we coming to see you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you was made to understand that, look, word is bond, regardless of whom or what. You gotta remember, man, all that, unless you was born in the knowledge, and then you can say you started learning this in your house. For the rest of us, man, the ciphers is where we came from. That's how we grew and developed. You know, see, like now you have a question, you might come on here. When I had a question, I went to the ciphers. You know what I'm saying? Listen, in any system you're dealing with, right, you got some people that thrive in it. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that thrive in it. You said you in Canada, you talk to Born King. You know, see, I thrived in the ciphers. I thrived. You know what I'm saying? I've always been, you know, see, first of all, I followed the rules. I didn't put the wisdom before the knowledge. Like, God, listen, I spent months where I ain't hardly even speak. I just did the knowledge. I first came to the rally and didn't even go to the bathroom for a couple of months. I used to come straight in, go straight in the auditorium, and just sit down and do the knowledge. I didn't say nothing to nobody. You know, but I was bringing people, though. I brought my cousin. I brought a couple of people. And then, eventually, when I got the heart up to go to the bathroom, and I went in the hallway, and I saw brothers that I knew. And, you know, I asked one of the dumbest questions of my life. You know, I was like, oh, snap, peace, God. Y'all be coming here? The guys looked at me like, what? Hey, God, how would you say something stupid to us like that, God? Do we come here? Yeah, I did that. But see, that's what I'm telling you. That's what the ciphers took me from somebody asking dumb shit like that, right? To somebody teaching the class. That's what the ciphers do. That's what 120 lessons do. If you don't get caught up in it, if you use it for the exercise that it is, you know what I mean? To deal with the growth and development of your grasp and use of supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet to understand what's going on inside you and around you. Yeah, tell them complete. We all used to rock the dunce cap at one time or another. That see, unless you Allah, and I ain't talking about we Allah, but I'm saying unless you're the founder of the nation, then there's somebody here that remembers when you was a fucking dunce. All of us. There's motherfuckers that tell you, I remember the guy, man, just came around, man, bumbling, stumbling his fucking lessons, right? Oh, the guy, yeah, I mean, this nigga, man, he's never come around, man. We all got people. We all shout out to Y Son Zigzag Zig on the this guy's membership to the channel. You know, we all have that, and you graduate from that in the ciphers, man. That's where you practice, man. You know, I spent good about 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Just being in the ciphers, like I was a kid, so you really ain't got nothing else to do. That's what you're doing. But at that time, I'm in neighborhood. I'm in the neighborhood. Once you reach a certain age, you know what I'm saying, you start having babies, all these different things, then yeah, you don't got time to be in every cipher. But for that time, that growth and development, when you talking about 365 days a year for 5 years, quoting, let's say a low average of 10 times a day. Everybody from people who got the knowledge yesterday to firstborn Prince of Love. And it wasn't like I was complete then. I still study my lessons and see stuff. See what I'm saying? Because my mathematics is infinite. So those people, whoever that, you run into somebody and they say, they don't study 120 and they belittling it. See, first of all, what you're doing is devilishment. See, I would be doing devilishment if I didn't tell y'all the importance of 120 lessons. Because then that would be me, right? That would be me elevating off of this thing, but then closing the door behind me and telling you, nah, don't study that. Wow, this is how I elevate it. See, it just goes to show you, yeah, I know a whole bunch of stuff. I know a whole bunch of stuff about science and physics and chemistry and history and math and et cetera, et cetera. But saying, without the 120, saying, we're really, without the supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet, let's be clear. Let's not misspeak with the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabet. But I'm saying the exercise that you get from knowing 120 lessons. But it's other levels too. Freak, I'm not sure how far you've got. You see, you got to get to a lesson, right? You got to get to a point where you answer 120 questions for yourself. See, those is answered by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, one of the lost and found here in the wilderness of North America. See, once Elijah told you who you was, right, that gave you the ability to answer those questions. See, if you said it, would you say my name is W.F. Muhammad? Because I wouldn't say my name is W.F. Muhammad. See, I saw that from the jump. When I first got on 136, like, yeah, well, how you see that? My name's not W.F. Muhammad, and I'm not the half original man. I'm the original man. See, that's like a workbook. You know how when you go to math class, right? Back in the day, you in the first, second grade, and they give you the whole problem book, and you're supposed to add these problems, right? But then they got like the first one or two, they do them for you. So you see an example, like, oh, this is what you're doing. You add in, right? That's what 120 lessons is. That's an example that Elijah Muhammad said. It's a great example. You know, I have a whole video here where, listen, don't fuck with it. Don't dilute it, don't mix it, don't tamper with it. But we're not religious people, and Elijah is not a holy man. He's a wise man who is our brother, whose teachings was also freedom, justice, and equality. And see, if knowledge is infinite, that means that it didn't stop in 1934, didn't stop in 1969. It means that it's still being added on to right now. Supreme Just, you said you came across a Muslim guy. You know, I haven't seen a lot of people. You know, I hate to, you know, I don't like to you know, aggrandize myself too much, but you know, once I came on, a lot of fakeness just kind of melted away. Like, I haven't seen them. I haven't even heard from Wayne. Has anybody heard from? I haven't heard from Wayne. I haven't heard from quite a few people. You know, I'll leave them. We'll let them live. We don't need to kick them down on this episode. Although I did have an individual, I don't know why he contacted me. Yeah, his name's Wayne. You know, sometimes that's what happens. See, because when it comes to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, look, I don't leave people with the impression that me and Wayne is two 5%ers that disagree. No, it's one 5%er and another nigga that ain't got nothing to do with this. See what I'm saying? Sometimes you get into with these people and that's what they think. Nah. What's going on down there though in the in Victory Allah? anybody that's on here, if you in the Virginia area, the DMV area, and you looking to build with some real guys, man, that doing what they talking about, you can get in touch with Supreme Justice. That's something we kind of slacked off on. See, everybody, you gotta check in. If you're not the guy, because you be coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? Let me read. I haven't said this in a while, but don't ever in your life go somewhere and tell somebody that you're the guy and you show and prove it by coming on Darkim Be Allah's live. Nah. I'm not that powerful. I'm not that powerful to make you God over anything. See, that's something that you got to show and prove. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between us and all these other people, is that you're responsible for it all. There's no ending, at least not for now. But I've been on the Jack before and Elijah, but they not coming back no time soon. So in the meantime, you got to handle your own business. By the way, if you haven't been building and adding on like you're supposed to, and you're concerned that you may not make it into the hereafter, hit the Cash App, and I'll put in a word before and Elijah. I'll make sure you get a ticket. You understand? Like the Pope, selling tickets to heaven. That's the kind of deal I'm pumping right now. So if you think you might end up in the hellfires, hit the Cash App. Supreme Justice said, I said that to say that when the true and living God is present, cats like that end up kissing the ring. And see, something you said right there is key, right? In what I'm saying to the brothers right now in terms of responsibility. See, that's the main reason why all these crazy people could exist, because we're not putting things up into as much. We not being as active with it as we should. I mean, like, listen, I've been places, right, where, you come over there, people might see you with your flag or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They see you with your flag, and they go get the guys from around there and come back like, this nigga over there saying he with y'all. And look, they know what's the possibilities, because look, they stand right there and look like, all right, let's see how this goes. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when they see, okay, everything is everything. Oh, this brother, yeah, he's on point too. Now, those people, they look out for you. Whenever, as soon as you come in that area, like, yo, peace, God, you looking for such and such? Yeah, he over there. Because of how active the brothers over there is with their knowledge, you can't come over there faking. They'll go get the guys on you right now. What you said? You said Dave Matt. Hold on, man. Go get the guy. That's what's happening. See, like I said, we get active in the forum. Now people see, oh, that's the real deal. That's the this was the fake stuff. Why nobody tell me? Khalid Mills, welcome to the channel. Yeah, I got a few, a few new people that's coming through right now. I got a few new people that's coming through right now that I'm teaching. and a couple of the kids from the boxing class is doing a fast. They doing a fast this week. They supposed to start getting 8 degrees. You know what I'm saying? That's capital D there, they'll call it. But you know, I came on late today. Yeah. That's AIG boxing. It's me and Rashawn. Like that's how we you know, we formulated the idea and then we just kept executing it. You know what I'm saying? And see the good thing, you know what I'm saying, is that this is what supreme mathematics do. See, we so in tune, we don't have meetings. We don't have meetings. And we might make a phone call like, yo, God, we doing this. All right, yeah, no doubt. I see you there, that's it. People keep telling me, yeah, we don't meet. We don't do what we need to meet about. But yeah, this is we completed 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we had our little hiatus like everybody did during the lockdowns and all of that, but everything going strong with that. You know, it's a matter of other things. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody can only have so much on their plate. You know, especially because I can tell you, listen, this is your life too. See, when you walking around trying to proselytize, man, I'm not going around trying to save everybody because they ain't paying me. So see, some other hands need to get on deck, right? And have some other things. You know what I mean? Like that's good. That's established right there. You see what I mean? But it's 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? We have this class right here. There's a couple of hours on Mondays and Tuesdays. We have the boxing class. That's a couple of hours on Saturdays. The rest of the time is open. You know what I mean? And that's a part of what I'm saying in terms of activity. See, like right now, if you walk outside with the golden arches on, the golden arches from McDonald's, people are going to ask you if you work for McDonald's. Because of how active McDonald's is with their flag. You see, when Jay-Z put our flag on, they was like, yo, what's that? That means we're not active enough with it to where it's what? Seen and heard everywhere. What's said on there? It's the greatest and only flag known of the universe. How is it the greatest and how is it known if we not putting in activation? Like when people see you, if you active in their life, they know who you are. If people see you, you know what I'm saying? I'll be on the gram, Supreme Justice. You know what I'm saying? When people see you, you know, in your neighborhood, right? Whether they know you by your name, your face, they know that you God or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's if you active in your neighborhood. But you know how to be that person, you be like, get the fuck out of here. You live in that building? I ain't never seen around here. You live in that building? How long? Because you're not being seen and heard everywhere. But we got any questions before we wind this one down? We're gonna wind this one down. Got any last questions? This is always a dangerous time for the new people that you new to the live. This is one of the most dangerous times when it's just open, questions. All right, Supreme, peace. But we've been good. The G building is we've been good. We haven't had to give out no Thorazine. Yeah, see, self-evaluate it. I'm not going down the rabbit hole. It looks like we have all high scientists today. I love it. When we have the high scientists, you know what I'm saying? So, we build, we just be here, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no questions. You know what I'm saying? As well as since we having this type of episode now where I'm tooting my own horn. I always like to say that when I build, right, my wisdom is so crystal clear that there's never any questions. Because it's crystal, the understanding is crystallized and exact. That's what you got to do. For all those, like I said, that might be new, right? When you explaining something, when you born in the understanding, things are supposed to get simpler. If you explaining something and it's getting more complicated, then you're not explaining it right. You got to be Lord of all worlds. You got to be able to discuss this with college professors, and you got to be able to discuss this with 2-year-olds. You see, the ability to discuss it. See, if you lack the ability to discuss it with either side or any degree in between, then that means that you don't really know and understand what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start sending out the notifications during text, but how that's gonna work is I got right now this it's a particular app. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's gonna have to sign the numbers. I'm trying to just figure out exactly the what's the name, but yeah, we got to start doing the notifications like that. Because YouTube is raping me. They think I don't know. You see what I mean? They putting all these commercials. On here, right? But see, that's because y'all. You see what I mean? Because y'all be tuned in, right? Then they feel like, oh yeah, let's put out. You see what I mean? Because he got an audience that stay intact. But they ain't hitting me like that. They, I'm getting a little bit of chump change. $5 or something a stream. You know what I mean? From all those commercials. They think I don't know. He said, thought is faster than the speed of light. Then do we possess the power to travel past, present, and future? Yeah, in thought. In thought, we do that every day. You know what I'm saying? If we deal, Freak said right here with the lessons, right? In the metaverse, well, I just told y'all, man, though, just when I get in the metaverse, everybody better know their lessons. Because when I get in the metaverse, I'm going back Like I'm taking like 30 years off the clock. Taking like 30 years off the clock. Listen, when y'all see me in the metaverse, it's gonna listen. Lawrence Taylor is the best player in the NFL. Michael Jordan is the best player in the NBA. Mike Tyson's knocking niggas out. That's the era. That's the era we gonna be in when I get in the metaverse. You understand what I mean? But back to the question here from 49 Wu-Tang is that, yeah, when we deal with the lessons, right? When you go back to an event, when you say approximately 60 years ago, or you even deal with the 1 in 36 in general, right? It's a history lesson. So mentally, you moving back to that time. You see what I'm saying? Or just like earlier today, brothers was asking me, you know what I'm saying, about certain stages of my growth and development. You know, mentally, I went back to those times. You know, depending on how strong your mind is, your creative power, you know, you can sense some of the, you know, the feelings, you know, the five senses, you know what I mean? You can smell, that how, you know, you can remember how that smelled, or you can remember how that food tastes, you know what I mean? It could go to even that level. You see what I mean? Or you have a person who you may think about something in the past, right? And it bring those emotions back. Like you might think about you lost somebody in your family. You know what I'm saying? And then you might shed a tear. You see what I'm saying? Or you might think about the baby your woman could be pregnant, and you think about the future, the baby gonna be there, right? And you feel joy. So you travel to those times. You see, and this is not disagreeing with you, but I have to add this on, is that the only time is now. See, you know, in the supreme alphabet, let me tell you about now. You see what I'm saying? Because the sum total, right, of your past is what you're experiencing right now. The history that you predicted, wrote, and lived out, right, is the world you living in right now. This is what, you know, your history and your home is your history is based on your home circumference. That history you wrote put you in the home circumference where you at right now. And see, the history that you write, predict, and write and live out right now is going to be the world you living in the future. That's the 25,000. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, right? We don't get caught up. You know what I'm saying? We understand the science, right? We understand the science exactly, Free. See, if you ain't dealing with now, you're gonna come to an end. But just to say, you know, this also keeps us grounded because we don't live in the past and we don't live in the future. We don't keep reliving the past, repeating the past. We renew the past, right? And we predict the future. But see, we don't be in there, you know, spending money we ain't got. Putting on shoes you don't own. You know, you just thinking about owning them in the future. You can't live like that. You got to do something now, right? That's going to affect that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not saying what you said is not right exact. It is. Right? It was a great question. But you do always have to keep perspective, right? On right now. See, all them other things. See, this is my time. You say Allah come in his own good time. This is my time. I can't live off the time and the accomplishments of the founder of the nation. You see what I'm saying? And I can't live off of saying, well, one day somebody's gonna come and they gonna save all this shit. No, I got to do what I got to do in my own good time. Freak says, so this is the hereafter. Indeed, see, now you're starting to get the hang of it. Now you're starting to get the hang of this. I used to think like that. When I first got the knowledge, right? And I looked at kind of the problems, right? Not the problems at 120, but the obstacles in life, right? For original people achieving freedom, justice, and equality, right? And I looked at, what the obstacles was for that, right? And also from, still being in a little bit of a religious mind, because I'm still moving away from that, right? You got these ideas about these people, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to come and be saviors, you know what I mean? Rather than Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, you know what I mean? So I did kind of have that mentality, you know what I'm saying? I knew the person was going to rise up from amongst us, but I didn't know it was me. I didn't know it was you. I figured, we just got to keep building on math, you know what I'm saying? And, eventually we're going to produce that person. Spoke with the guy from Medina one day. The guy's like, nah, we got to do this shit now. We was talking. And whatever we was talking about, I was like, yeah, God, that's going to be like our babies and all that, accomplish that. God was like, nah, I got to fucking talking about. Let's do this shit now. I don't know if I agree with that one for you. You said the 85% is the 5% who could build the cipher to born 9,000 miles. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. But we did the thing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. Oh, these are typos, I see. All right, yeah, but everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. Share this on your other pages, your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we've been good. The G building, we might have to change what wing we in. We might have to change what wing we in. I don't know, but the G building's been pretty safe. We haven't opened the medicine cabinet. We'll see what's going on in there soon. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna sign off in the G building and say peace. I don't know if we're gonna make it on tomorrow. Like I actually got a kind of a full day, you know what I'm saying? And I got some other news too. We're about to get back in business. But in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna sign off and say peace.